Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.
Welcome back to AI Hub, your deep dive into all things AI. I'm Larry, and as always, I'm excited to, explore the latest and greatest in artificial intelligence.
And I'm Amanda, here to kind of break down the complexities and help you understand what really matters in this ever-evolving field.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into a high-stakes legal battle that could reshape the future of OpenAI. And, OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT. Elon Musk, a co-founder and early supporter, is suing OpenAI. He's claiming that they've abandoned their nonprofit roots.
It's a fascinating case for sure. OpenAI was, initially founded on this principle of developing AI for the benefit of humanity, not for profit. And now they're pushing to become a for-profit company. And that's raised quite a few eyebrows, especially considering some of the potential legal and financial ramifications.
So why the sudden shift? What's driving OpenAI to pursue this for-profit structure?
Well, the AI landscape is incredibly competitive these days. Companies like Google and Microsoft are investing billions, and OpenAI might feel some pressure to secure similar resources to stay ahead of the curve. A for-profit model could provide them with the capital they need to, compete effectively.
Makes sense. But this isn't just about keeping up with, the Joneses, right? There's a legal battle brewing here, and a federal judge has actually weighed in on the matter.
That's right. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers acknowledged that using public funds for a nonprofit's for-profit conversion does raise some serious concerns about, a significant and irreparable harm. She even pointed out that several OpenAI co-founders, including CEO Sam Altman, had pledged not to use OpenAI for personal enrichment.
That sounds pretty damning. Did the judge put a stop to OpenAI's plans?
Not entirely, no. She denied Musk's initial attempt to block the transition outright. However, she has scheduled an expedited trial for the fall of 2025 to address the legality of the restructuring. So, it's clear that Judge Rogers isn't entirely convinced that this move is above board.
So this is far from over. What exactly is Musk alleging in his lawsuit?
Well, his primary argument is that OpenAI's shift to a for-profit model directly contradicts their founding principles and commitments. He's claiming that they're prioritizing profits over their original mission of ensuring that AI benefits humanity as a whole.
That definitely aligns with the judge's concerns about, potential harm. So what happens next? What are the potential outcomes of this legal battle?
Well, if OpenAI loses the case, they could be forced to abandon their for-profit aspirations and revert to their nonprofit structure. And this would drastically limit their access to capital and potentially hinder their ability to compete in this AI arms race.
That would be a huge setback for OpenAI, especially with, competitors like Google breathing down their necks. On the other hand, what happens if they win?
If OpenAI wins the lawsuit, they'll have a clear path to becoming a publicly traded company, potentially generating enormous wealth for its stakeholders. However, this victory could come at a cost. Well, the transition to a for-profit model could damage OpenAI's reputation, especially among those who believe they're abandoning their original mission. There's also that looming deadline of 2026. If they haven't fully transitioned to for-profit by then, some of their recent capital could convert to debt, adding another layer of financial pressure.
So they're in a bit of a bind, it seems. They need capital to compete, but the way they're trying to get it is causing all sorts of legal and reputational issues. It seems like a tough spot to be in.
Absolutely, yeah. And it raises this really crucial question about the future of AI development. Can a company really prioritize both profit and the responsible and ethical development of AI? Or are those two goals ultimately incompatible?
It's a question that goes beyond OpenAI, right? It's something we need to be thinking about as a society, as AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives.
Exactly. OpenAI's situation is like this microcosm of the larger challenges we face navigating the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence. How do we ensure that this technology is developed and deployed in a way that benefits humanity without compromising our values and safety?
It's a big question and one that doesn't have an easy answer, but I think it's a conversation we need to be having. We can't just leave it to the tech companies and policymakers to figure out.
I agree. We all have a stake in this. AI is already transforming industries, impacting everything from healthcare and finance to transportation and education. The decisions made about its development will have consequences, profound consequences for all of us.
That's a sobering thought. So let's bring it back to OpenAI. What are some of the key takeaways from this legal battle, and what can we learn from it as we move forward?
Well, I think one of the key takeaways is that transparency is crucial. OpenAI's decision to shift towards a for-profit model has raised these concerns about a lack of transparency and a potential deviation from their original mission. As AI continues to develop, we need to demand greater transparency from the companies developing it.
That makes sense. We need to know how these technologies are being developed, who's funding them, and what their intended purpose is. We can't afford to be in the dark about something with such far-reaching implications.
Exactly. And beyond transparency, we also need robust public discourse and engagement. AI isn't just a technical issue, it's a societal issue that demands diverse perspectives and thoughtful consideration. We need to be actively engaged in shaping how AI is used and governed.
That's where shows like AI Hub come in, right? We try to break down these complex issues and keep our listeners informed about the latest developments. We can't solve all the problems, but we can at least try to shed some light on them.
Absolutely. And the more people are informed and engaged in these conversations, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
So what's next for OpenAI? What are the potential outcomes of this legal battle, and what might the future hold for the company?
It's hard to say for certain, but that expedited trial in the fall 2025 will likely be a turning point. If OpenAI wins, they'll have a clear path to going public, potentially securing vast sums of capital. But even with a win, they'll need to address the reputational damage and rebuild trust with those who feel that they've strayed from their original mission.
And if they lose?
A loss could force them to abandon their for-profit ambitions and revert to their nonprofit structure. This would severely limit their access to capital and potentially hinder their ability to compete in this rapidly evolving AI landscape. It would be a significant setback. But it might also be an opportunity for them to reaffirm their commitment to ethical AI development and regain public trust.
So it's a real crossroads for them. Their future hangs in the balance, and the outcome of this legal battle could have ripple effects throughout the entire AI industry. It's definitely a situation worth watching closely.
I agree. The decisions made in the coming months and years will have a profound impact on how AI is developed, regulated, and integrated into our lives. And it's up to all of us to stay informed, engage in the conversation, and demand that AI is developed in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
Well said. This has been a fascinating deep dive into the complex world of OpenAI and the larger ethical and societal implications of AI development. I'm sure our listeners have a lot to think about.
It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy exploring these important issues with you.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to AI Hub for more deep dives into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence. We'll be back soon with more insights and discussions on the latest trends and challenges in AI. Until next time, stay curious. It sounds like OpenAI is navigating a tricky path, you know?
Oh, they are, yeah. There's a lot at stake for them right now. If they become a publicly traded company, there's the potential for massive financial gains. But they also face these serious risks, including reputational damage, legal challenges, and potential regulatory restrictions.
You mentioned a deadline earlier. Can you remind us about that?
Sure. If OpenAI doesn't complete its for-profit conversion by 2026, some of the capital they've raised could convert to debt, and that adds a layer of financial pressure to move quickly.
So the clock is ticking. What could happen if that capital does convert to debt?
Well, it could create a significant financial strain on the company, potentially limiting their ability to invest in research and development, or even, forcing them to make some tough decisions about their operations.
This whole situation really highlights the tension between rapid technological advancement and ethical considerations in the AI field.
It does. On one hand, access to capital through a for-profit model could accelerate AI development, leading to, groundbreaking innovations.
That sounds promising. What's the potential downside?
Well, the concern is that profit-driven motives might prioritize speed and commercial success over responsible development, potentially leading to unintended consequences or even, harmful applications of AI.
So it's a balancing act. How do we ensure AI benefits humanity without compromising our values and safety?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's one that requires careful consideration, open dialogue, and maybe even a reassessment of our current regulatory frameworks. The stakes are incredibly high.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into the complexities surrounding OpenAI's potential shift to a for-profit model.
It has, and it's a story that's still unfolding.
To wrap things up, OpenAI's future really hangs in the balance, with both legal and financial questions still looming. This raises a larger question for all of us. What impact could this have on the development and accessibility of AI technology as a whole?
It's something to think about, yeah. We need to think about the potential benefits of rapid AI advancements, but also the potential risks and unintended consequences. We need to make sure AI is developed and deployed in a way that aligns with our values and our goals for a better future.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
And to all of you listening, thanks for tuning in to AI Hub. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence. We'll be back soon with more insights and discussions on the latest trends and challenges in AI. Until next time, stay curious.
Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.